the title of my topic is the theme is Oromia, as you already heard, the quest for decolonization, sovereign state, and a bright future. My title is The Necessity of the Rebirth of Sovereign and Democratic Oromia. I wanted to have a PowerPoint presentation. Nobody's showing it, so I'm going to talk regardless of that.
No, it's going to
Today, as many of you know, there are 193 countries in the world. These countries were born in the last 500 years. Only 22 countries have more population more than the Oromo people. Can you imagine? Only 22 countries have more population than the Oromo nation, which is estimated between 50 and 60 million. Since 1990, 32 new countries emerged, and 10 more countries will emerge within 10 years. So we have to ask ourselves, can we be the 11th one? Can Oromia will be the 11th nation that will be created? So I propose that with other Oromo nationalities should plan and act to make Oromia the 11th nation that will be born within a decade. I provide 4 major reasons why the Oromo national struggle should result in recreating a sovereign and democratic Oromia, which will be a member of the United Nations. There are 4 reasons for that: historical reasons, Ethiopian colonialism, terrorism, genocide, and continuing political repression and exploitation. The third one is Ethiopianism and the vis-a-vis Oromia. The fourth one is the United Nations international law. Because of all these reasons, Oromia should be born as a new nation. Between 1522 and 1618, the Oromo fought 12 towers, which is 96 years, to recover and re-establish the Oromo country that was called Oromose, today Oromia. The Oromo fought against the Christian and the Muslim empire builders who want to destroy Oromo. And they fought for 96 years, defeated both of them, and re-established Oromia by rejoining the Oromo people and their lost territories. One scholar who is specialist on Horn Africa, her name is Virginia Ruling, says, quote, from the mid-16th to the mid-19th century, the Oromo were dominant and on their own territories. No people of other cultures were in a position to exercise compulsion on them. Unquote.
Slide is already on.
Okay, thank you. We have this thing. I don't know, it's not working. So, all Oromo lived under one Gada government. One Gada government. I don't know how many of you know that. And later built a confederation of confederations. After the mid-17th century, different Oromo groups started to have autonomous Gada government after establishing their territory, after their numbers increased. These autonomous governments formed alliances, federations, or confederations to maintain their political and cultural solidarity and to defend their security and interests from their common enemies. In the first half of the 19th century, the sovereign Oromo people were administered by Gada governments and multi-states or kingdoms. The multi-system created a division among Oromo society and the formed self-centered leaders who could do anything to promote their individual interests. Governor was one of Such leaders co-created Ethiopianized Oromos, which have become the enemy of Oromo sovereignty and democracy until today. Governor was an emblem of Oromo defeat and the hero of the Ethiopianized Oromos, who claimed that their forefathers created Ethiopia. The alliance of European colonial powers, Ethiopian colonialism, and an Ethiopianized Oromo class ended the existence of sovereign and democratic Oromia. In fact, the Habasha warlords built the Ethiopian empire on the destruction of Oromia and Oromo society during the last decades of the 19th century. Through the Amarized or Ethiopianized Oromo general, Governor Dace, Menelik made some Oromo leaders his collaborators. In this process, the Oromo identity, language, culture, democracy were deleted or suppressed. Successive Ethiopian governments have used Oromo mercenaries or collaborators to continue to terrorize, dominate, dehumanize, and exploit Oromo society. This is being used as firewood, not nation builders, for building and maintaining the Ethiopian empire. The colonial government created and developed 5 institutions in Oromia, which cannot be explained in detail here. The first one is the Katamas, the Rishon House, which Filipina is the center of it. Slavery. Many Oromos claim that we were not enslaved, but in fact they were enslaved. Some people are enslaved. The Zarabad system and Oromo collaborative class. The Napta system and the colonial land holding system. This can be 2 or 5 books by themselves. We cannot explain them here today. The successive government of Haile Selassie, Mengistu Haile Mariam, Mallet Zenawi, Haile Mariam, the Saleh, and Abiy Ahmed have continued state terrorism, repression, gross human rights violation, and economic exploitation of Oromo society. The Ethiopian authoritarian terrorist regime. The Ethiopian government is really not a government. It is an authoritarian terrorist state characterized by 3 main points: militarization and repression, financial repression, tight control of foreign aid, domestic financial resources. 3, direct ownership and control all aspects of state, including the security and the military institutions, judiciary and the public bodies, and the financial institutions. These are not government, these are mafia, organized to exploit, loot, right people. Through its educational institutions, the Ethiopian political system has produced a small number of Ethiopianized Oromos who become collaborators. Most of our educated people are Ethiopianized and the collaborators of the Ethiopian colonial system. The colonial design intentionally limited the number of educated Oromos by denying education to the overwhelming majority of Oromo people. And it's by training only two people who were prepared to be collaborators. The Ethiopian government has disconnected most of the few educated in the historical roots through various political, educational, and cultural mechanisms such as assimilation, political marriage, religion, divide and conquer policies, and the continuously forcing them to be loyal to the National class. A few Oromo nationalists have rebelled against Ethiopian colonialism and engaged in the Oromo liberation struggle. Their numbers are very few who have made the sacrifice to make Oromo to exist today. Successive Ethiopian governments have targeted the Oromo nationalists because of Oromo nationalism and other Oromos, because of their resources and their refusal to submit to the others to colonial orders. Ethiopianism is Oromoma. This is a very important thing. This is Ethiopianism is a concept that changed the Oromo of educated elites. The Ethiopian colonial state uses the ideology of Ethiopianism which is contradictory to national Oromia, which I call national Oromia, Oromo-centric history, culture, and nationalism. Oromo nationalism cannot capture the struggle of the Oromo people, therefore I call it national Oromia. This ideology explains Ethiopianism, explains and justifies the formation of the Ethiopian empire. It denies the colonization of the Oromo. They always deny that Oromos were not colonized. They were freely incorporated into Ethiopia. The ideology of Ethiopianism explains and justifies that. The Ethiopian state has effectively used Ethiopianism to hide the crimes against humanity. We are not Ethiopians. They call us Ethiopians, but they kill us, they murder us, they loot our resources. Okay, thank you. Today, Ethiopian Oromo who defend the Ethiopian empire are either politically misguided or opportunists who sacrifice the Oromo national interest for their national interest. The Ethiopianized Oromo elites call themselves Ethiopians. The identity that true in the revolution is Oromo nationalists reject. If colonized people around the world didn't abandon their indigenous identity, why do Oromo elites call themselves Ethiopians? This is a very serious question to be answered. The only way to the liberation of Oromo society is building the Oromo national movement, which is based on the ideology of national Oromia, Oromo-centric history, worldview, culture, nationalism, and egalitarian democracy. Without the decolonization of Oromia and the defeat of Ethiopianism, the Oromo people cannot be free. Oromia deserves national self-determination, which is internationally accepted political principle. The United Nations recognizes the desire of every people or every nation to determine its destiny, free from dictatorship or control of others, unquote. This is internationally recognized right. However, every nation must deserve it through different mechanisms, mainly through various forms of struggle, particularly through armed struggle in the case of Africa. The principle of national determination is based on the four pillars of the United Nations Declaration. The first one is the right to life, liberty, and security, civil liberty and property rights, third, political and social rights, fourth, economic, social, and cultural rights. If a nation is denied national self-determination, it is universal human rights declaration cannot be respected and cannot be protected. The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights expands human freedoms if implemented or practiced, otherwise it remains on the paper. Based on the spirit of human rights, the Universal Human Rights Declaration, Amartya Sen suggests 5 types of instrumental freedoms: 1, political freedoms; economic freedoms; 3, social opportunities; 4, transparency guarantees; 5, protective security. None of these rights are protected in the case of Oromo society. None is even today. These 4 reasons, the 4 reasons I have identified, justify the rebirth of a sovereign and a democratic Oromia. The Oromo live under the darkness of ignorance, political slavery, terrorism. Therefore, they are exposed to state terrorism, genocide, and the massive human rights violation. The Oromo deserve popular sovereignty, statehood, egalitarian democracy, and membership in the United Nations to restore their human freedoms and build their capabilities to achieve security, peace, and sustainable development. The human rights of the Oromo people will be protected only if they defend themselves, if we defend ourselves by any means necessary and liberate ourselves. Supporting the Oromo Liberation Army is an act of self-defense that self-respecting Oromos should recognize and contribute their shares. In the capitalist world system, might is right. Only if you have might, if you have power, you will be protected. Oromo democratic and human rights can be restored by building national Oromo national organizational capacity particularly the Oromo Liberation Army. If some Oromos are determined, not all Oromos, if all of them are good, but only if some Oromos are determined to restore their sovereign and democratic republic of Oromia, there is no force that can stop the Oromo from achieving their liberty. The Oromo Liberation Front and Oromo Liberation Army and all Oromo nationalists should plan and act in unity to achieve Oromian sovereignty and democracy in less than 10 years. We have to plan and act. Victory belongs to the people.